Hey there, Brock. Great speaking with you earlier today. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. Again, my name is Seleni McGregor, and I work with business owners across the state of Utah. And so with this video that I put together, it's just a quick custom video for you about your online presence and specifically how you stack up against your competition. I'm sure at this point you're most likely sitting there asking yourself, why would she be doing this and what is the catch? Well, that is a fair question. What I have found is that most local business owners are just too busy actually running their business. They might be swamped with payroll, helping customers, answering questions, dealing with employees, and just staying on top of jobs that many times learning how to leverage the internet to benefit their company just gets buried underneath all of the other to-dos. And let's be real, half the time the only reason you may not have hired somebody yet is because you don't know who to trust or know who is truly an expert. So that is exactly why I make videos like this. I have found that by giving people an easy, free attack plan of things that they can actually do to impact their business for free, it has resulted in some of those local business owners still raising their hands and saying, hey, I like you, Seleni, can you please just handle this for me? So if by the end of this video you've liked what you've heard and can see that I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video, if you just want to take this free attack plan that I give to you and do it yourself, that totally works for me too. Now let's cover the 3 things that are going to set Platinum Fence Co. above your competition. First is content, second citations, and third backlinks. So first up is content. So since Google isn't a human, it doesn't just know what you do, it has to be told through your content. Content is going to be anything here you can see on your homepage that is highlighted. And here a second ago, I had even a contact form, but I'm not sure where it went. I saw a contact form on here, but now I'm like not even seeing it on your website here. And I saw a different background image as well, so I'm not exactly sure where it just went. But anyways, so all of the things that are highlighted is the content. So it can be your text, it can be images, what your pictures are saved as, what's behind the pictures. That's all considered content. Now to give you an example here, we can do a right click on this image and save it, and we can see what it's labeled as. We can see it's just labeled with a bunch of letters and numbers. Similarly to this one, save as, same thing. It's a copy and then a bunch of letters and numbers. So alternatively, this would be a great way to be able to leverage high volume keywords by including those here in your detailed image descriptions. Again, all of these things are what Google bots are able to read and get an idea of what is this business, what services are they offering, what areas are they targeting, and that's going to position you here in the search rankings. As you can see here on your homepage, I'm really not seeing any content. Like I said earlier, I did see a contact form here. I'm not sure where it went. You also had a different picture here, but here on your homepage, I'm just not seeing any content. And so that's what the bots are also seeing, is they're just not seeing the information that's going to help position you in the search ranking. Again, the goal is having unique and authoritative content, and you need to have enough of it to add in the right keywords and phrases that people are searching for in Google in order for them to find the services that you offer. Most business owners know that they need content, but what they don't know is that in order to rank number 1 on Google for fencing, the average content count is 1,500 to 2,400 words on your homepage, again with the right keywords and phrases that your customers are actually searching for. Again, right here with your homepage, when I had your form here, I had pulled it open and I found that you had 48 words here on your homepage. I did pull one of the top competitors down there in the St. George area. We've got Kirkland's Fence and Garden pulled in. You can see here they've got a lot more content here on their homepage. When I went ahead and copied their content here into my tool, they're sitting around 500 words here on the homepage. So still a great way to be able to help leverage that, increasing your content count with the right keywords. Now we're going to actually jump over here into one of my tools. This is called Ahrefs. It's a really cool tool, typically costs a couple $100 a month. Right off the bat, we can see an overview of how your competition is doing here. We've got Kirkland's pulled in here. I can see that they're being found for a couple of keywords here, a couple of different fencing keywords that have some volume to it. Typically, we like to focus on location-specific volume and the high ranking here. I actually went ahead and also pulled up a bunch of terms here for the keywords down in your area. Again, these all have smaller search volumes, but added together, it looks like people are just searching slightly different phrases, and so that breaks it up into different groupings. But you can see here we've got brick fence builder St. George being searched 10 times per month, St. George fence builder 10 times per month, custom fence installation, St. George, 10 times per month, St. George fence installation at 10, black iron fence decor. Decor doesn't really apply to you. That one's decor as well, decorations. Custom fence fabrication, St. George Fencing Company, Fence St. George, Utah. You can see here some of the volume of people just searching for different fencing companies here, kind of broken out into several different keywords and key terms here. This would be a great way, again, to be able to leverage the content here and adding that into your website so that you guys are being found in number one. Now, we jump over here in the same tool. I can see here the same overview. You guys aren't being found for any keywords and you're not driving any sort of traffic to your website. So again, being able to leverage, even though the search volume here is not that high necessarily, again, what would even having a few more jobs every single month? I mean, out of all these people, you've got 100 here, right? Just for these types, and that's not even an exhaustive list of the different services and different types of products that way. But just as a quick overview, what would that do for your business to be able to be at the top and be able to capitalize on that traffic of people searching for fencing companies? Because like I said, right now, Google doesn't know what your site is about. It's not finding you for anything and not really able to push you up for your customers to be able to find. So again, first thing to do to help beat out your competition, increasing your content count. You've got to get it up to that 1,500 words using the right keywords and phrases. That's what helps drive your competitor's business, and it is 100% beatable if you get that done. Now we're going to jump over to the second important thing, which is citations. Let's jump over into Google here. I do have one of those key phrases typed in here for custom fence installation, St. George, Utah. And we can see here right off the bat, the very top things that we see are the ads. Now, here's the thing about ads. Ads can work, but they can also be a huge money pit if your foundation, like your website, isn't dialed in, or if customers are using an ad blocker. So just be really careful to not burn through your money here on Google Ads until you know for sure that your site is going to convert. Now we're actually going to jump down here below the ad section into the coveted map section. And this has a lot to do with that second important thing we're going to talk about, which is citations. So you're probably asking yourself, what is a citation? Why do they matter? Well, those are great questions. So this is called the Google Map Pack. I'm sure you've seen it. You've probably used this section and possibly even thought to yourself, how in the world can I get my business up on here? Well, that's a great question, and that's what I'm about to show you here. So to get yourself to the top 3, the number one thing that Google looks at is a thing called citations. So what is a citation? Well, super simple. It's just your business name, address, and phone number listed on a bench of online directories like these. Having citations helps Google to be able to verify you and then give relevance to your local business. So to push your business up here in the top 3 spots, on top of optimizing your Google business profile, you need to increase your citation game. When you get more citations than your competitors, especially from authoritative or industry-specific websites, your credibility boosts, you gain more trust from Google, and therefore pushing you here above your competition. Now, you might be asking yourself, great, but how do I actually do that? Well, there are paid tools like WhiteSpark or Bright Local that'll tell us exact directories that your competition is listed on here. Then we can go out and match what directories they're on. But of course, we don't want to just match them. We want to dominate them. What we have seen is that with most fence companies that are ranked to the top, we usually see them around 50 to 150 citations. So if you're pushed down below that, maybe second or third page, you might only have 10 to 30 citations. We not only need to go get those to match your top competitors, but then we need to beat them out online. Now, the map section here is responsible for about 40% of the call to clicks. So when people are searching for this, 40% of the traffic is coming here and calling and booking jobs, whereas 60% is coming down into this lower area right below the map pack. This area is called the organics listing section. Now, as you can see here, your company is not listed as number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anywhere here on the first page of Google. Now, ideally, this is where we want to be. Google statistics have actually shown us that the top 3 businesses here on Google get about 75% of the clicks, meaning that most of your potential customers are choosing one of these first 3 results and are never making it down to your listing. So to get here, you've got to beat out your competition in every aspect. You need authority. So how do you get authority? Well, this is where the backlinks come into play. Simply put, a backlink is on one website links to another website online. So the easiest way to think about it is like a popularity contest back in high school. You want the coolest, most popular kid to be recommending you. So in this popularity contest, the business here with the most relevant link juice and authority wins. And I do say relevant because not all backlinks are created equal. You guys are a fencing company, right? You wouldn't want to get a backlink from an ice cream shop linking back to you because you don't make ice cream. Although that would be tasty, that backlink would be kind of useless to you. But if you had a backlink from like a local blog or industry specific site linking back to you, it would be much more effective. Now again here, jumping in with my tool, I can see here how many backlinks you've got pointing back to your website. Again, we don't have anything being pointing back to show that you are an authority. But if we jump over here into your top competitor and go back into their overview, we can actually see they've got 94 backlinks being pointed back to them. And some are from very strong, relevant sources. That is what's pushing them there into the top, into the #1 spot here in the St. George area. Again, how do we get these? Here with Ahrefs, I can actually go in and I can see the exact links that they are linking to, and I can go out and get those exact same sites, if not better ones. Again, very beatable over time. Again, getting you here to the top of Google, it is not magic. It is just a tried and true method. And I have shown you that exact method here today. So again, the 3 things that you can do to increase your online presence is first, focusing on your content. You've got to get this up to at least the 1,500 words and having the right keywords and phrases that people are actually searching for so that your company gets found. Second is citations, getting your name, address, and phone number listed on as many online directories like this to beat out your competition by a landslide. And then lastly, making sure that you guys start with getting some quality backlinks pointing back to your site to show Google that you are the authority. If you implement these 3 strategies today, you can be #1 across Google. Now, I know how tough the market is, and I know how dependent small business owners may be on third-party companies like Angie's List. I also know how painful it is to pay for leads that are shared amongst your competitors. What I have shown you today gives you control over your leads and gives you an actionable plan, having clients come straight to your door without a broker in between. So again, I'm sure you're wondering, okay, well, what now? Well, you really have a few options. First, if you feel like you cannot handle any more clients every month and you're not looking to gain any others, just send me a quick note telling me you watched the video. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it and still get your feedback. I would really appreciate that. On the other hand, if you are ready to grow, then you can take the blueprint that I gave you and implement these 3 strategies on your very own today. I gave you the exact formula that businesses pay tons of dollars to have, and it's all yours to use to help your company. Now, if you found this information valuable and if you are still one of those business owners to still raise their hands for the most effective route, just go ahead and respond to my email and we will set up a time to chat. I look forward to hearing from you, Brock, and have a great day.